Thank you. Roll call. We have all the township supervisors here, with Barry joining us on phone. City council, we have everyone here. Jim, he's not on phone with us. Okay. Jim Achenbaugh is absent. We also have interim city manager Chris Nasuti here, and township manager Sean Arbaugh is here. Prior to our meeting this evening, we had an executive session to discuss personnel matters. Do we have any public comments on the agenda items only? No public comments. Old business. Let's start with the manager's progress report. Facilities use.
I'll take that. We have a recommendation for you tonight to propose using the current city building as the municipal building for the new city. We'll have the police department on the first and third floors, the administration on the second floor. This will require an addition in the back for locker rooms for the police department and offices for the administration. Included in this plan would be reusing the Sandy Township building for EMA and file storage, and then the garages would be used as well by the police department and the public works department. The anticipated budget is $3.5 to $4 million for the project for improvements to both facilities. 50% of that funding would come from a RACP grant that we have offered to us. The rest would be through some police funding and capital funds from Sandy Township and the city of DuBois. We would also recommend, this is just a conceptual plan that we're discussing here, that the joint board authorize us to advertise an RFP for architectural services. Anybody have any questions on the plan, the funding, or the request for architectural services?
Let's take these one at a time. First, I'd like to have a motion to authorize moving forward with the current city building being used for the new consolidated city, moving forward with that concept, moving our municipal building to this current existing one.
I'll make the motion, Mark, that we move forward with an RFP to look to see if it's going to be feasible for the next 30 years to use this building in that architectural.
Is that what you were asking?
Well, first, let's get a motion, make sure everybody's on board with doing that here at the existing facility.
Okay, I'll make that motion first.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Courtney?
Beers,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfand,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Mulliga,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Abbott,
Barry? Yes.
Reesinger,
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Next would be financing. Chris explained how we intend to pay for this, capping that at $4 million. Is there a motion to?
Can I add, I forgot to add one thing on that. A RACP is a reimbursement grant program, so we would need short-term interim financing until we got reimbursed our funds from the state for that. So there would be that interim loan that we would need to get in place as well.
Do we have a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Who was our second?
Jen.
Properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Beers.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Abbott.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Third, we need to get an RFP out for architectural services.
I'll make that my motion, Mark, that it looks for this building for 30 years, that it's going to be feasible.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any questions on the motion?
Beers.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Abbott.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. That covers our old business, approval of minutes from our February 21st meeting.
We had a couple other items under old business.
Oh, excuse me. Organizational chart, we're back under old business, organizational chart. You want to take that, Sean?
Sure. So we provided an interim organizational chart for your consideration this evening, really to allow us to move forward consolidation processes in a cooperative and productive manner. Nothing in the organizational chart changes the conditions or terms of employment that employees have, but we do believe it provides some security to show folks where we plan on them being once the municipalities consolidate, and additionally allows us to begin cross-training employees to learn jobs that they may need to get familiar with, and also to start to bring together staff members for that cohesive environment, and create that really smooth transition. We don't want to bring everybody together on January 5th and say, okay, now work together, and this allows us to gear up and let folks know where they belong within the organizational chart. This does just cover the non-union employees. The union employees process will be determined through contractual negotiations in the transition processes. If approved tonight, we would present a plan within 30 to 60 days of transition of how that administrative team, management team are going to start working together.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dick,
Second.
second by Elliot. Any questions on the motion?
Beers.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Abbott.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
And just to note, Mr. Chairman, that we do plan on meeting with each individual unit, so we'll meet with the police, the Public Works Department, admin, to discuss organizational chart, answer any questions they have, and present that to them, so individually.
Okay. Update on the special counsel contract.
Yeah, I'll update you there, Mr. Chairman. This is just for information, wanted to keep you updated on what we've been doing with the special counsel. The stamp grant amendment did come through on March 14th, and we had a kickoff meeting with special counsel on March 19th. At that initial meeting, we discussed the organizational chart, how to implement it, and how to transition from the interim chart to the ultimate chart that'll take place in 2026. We also discussed at that meeting preliminary pension plan discussions. We need to get options for how we're going to bring everybody together, and hopefully here within the next couple of meetings we'll be able to provide some options to our joint board and to our employees on what the pension plans moving forward in the consolidated community might look like. We also are putting together a milestone schedule for working with all these employment and unions so that we can keep everything on schedule and keep that grant money flowing for us. And then finally, we authorized special counsel to contact Sean Welby for the police union to begin negotiations for the one-year contract extension that we'll need to get in place for both police departments. So a lot of work already underway there for special counsel for us. Any specific questions on the special counsel?
Now I would like a motion to approve the minutes of our February 21st meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Elliot,
Second.
second by Pat. Corey?
Beers?
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malaga.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Abbott.
yes,
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. New business, we have our PCCD grant amendment for police body cameras.
Yep, I'd like to turn it over to Acting Chief McCleary and Chief Kurzelik for the update.
Yes, thank you. I'll keep it short. I was told to keep it short. In 2023, the City and the Sandy Township Police Departments received grant funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency in the amount of $562,000 to fund the purchase of new technology and equipment in preparation for the consolidation of the two police departments. Funding provided for the streamlining of equipment such as the purchase of new in-car camera systems and computers for both the city and the township. The purchase of a new records management system, policy management system, and personnel scheduling software. The grant budget experienced a surplus of funds. I just want to kind of go off script here. Josh Johnson over here, Sergeant for Sandy Township, he worked pretty hard on this grant, and he went back and forth with all the different vendors we got, and we ended up with a surplus of money. So with that surplus of money, he got it passed through PCCD to use that money for the purchase of body cams. Sandy Township already has body cams, DuBois City does not. So we're going to be purchasing 34 body cameras, replacing our old ones. We've had them for over 2 years. DuBois City will be getting 20 new body cams. Sergeant Johnson, he's been working with Matt Robertson with the in-car camera system, so everything's pretty streamlined already. The hard work of Josh and Matt Robertson getting us on track for merging the two.
Also, the command staff, both the city and township police, are diligently planning for the future transition of operations, which includes holding weekly meetings, and honestly, those have become daily almost with us. And we're identifying police facilities and equipment needs, the adoption of new policies and procedures by both departments, and we've been coordinating the training of our personnel.
Just, I need to add something. The cost of the 34 body cameras, along with the software that goes with it, is $112,000 for both departments. The grant, the surplus that we had was $85,000. So the two departments will split that cost, and pretty good savings there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Next, under new business, we have intergovernmental cooperation agreement. Sean, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, sure. Yep. So tonight we did present council with an intergovernmental municipal agreement for the engineer and manager position of each municipality. Sandy Township does not have a current township engineer. The city of DuBois has an interim manager. We thought the best way to move forward was to have a manager manage both Sandy Township and DuBois in accordance with the organizational chart, and have an engineer for both Sandy and the city of DuBois. So we are recommending to put forward that intergovernmental agreement, which will allow us to operate with me as manager of both the city and township, and Chris Nasuti as both the engineer for the city of DuBois and Sandy Township. We believe that it will be ultimately a cost savings. We don't have to hire an engineer. We don't have to use consultants as often for the engineering services. And additionally, the city of DuBois doesn't have to hire a manager, doesn't have to, Chris doesn't have to pull his hair out trying to do two very difficult jobs. We believe it is in the best interest, especially with the organizational chart that we are presenting. It is going to be a lot more work for both Chris and I as we navigate through this process. We're going to double the meetings we have. We're going to have a lot more work and a lot more employees that we're responsible for. But we ultimately think this is in the best interest of the consolidation effort. And additionally, will give us that chance to really build that cohesion, to further that cohesion between the two municipalities.
And in addition to that, we are compensating both Chris and Sean an additional $15,000 a year. I just wanted to make sure that that was out there as well.
Sean, could you touch on a little bit of that, how we're saving, even though we're paying you $15,000, and Chris, in the long run?
Sure, yeah, so for some things, such as engineering for Sandy Township, for example, we pay a private consultant to review land development plans. Chris would be available for review and inspection of those land development plans. And there's a myriad of other additional services such as grants. You know, I currently do a lot of our grant work with the township. Most of it's sewer, water infrastructure related. That takes me a lot longer than it will take Chris to work through that process. As far as management role goes, I think that that'd be a benefit to the city. Be able to help with things such as policy manuals, job descriptions, things that they might have to seek other services to be able to complete.
And you will be in each other's buildings throughout the day or week or whatever.
Correct. Yeah, we're still kind of tossing around different ideas, but we do think it's important to at least be in a presence almost every day at each building.
And you'd be at all the meetings and all the township and city meetings that would be required.
Correct. Yep. Yes, I would be at all the, unless I had a vacation plan.
Both of you will.
Yeah.
Both of them will.
And if we approve this here this evening, it would have to go back to our respective municipalities to be passed in the form of I think Sandy could do it as a
We
resolution.
can do it as a resolution, yes.
And the city would be a
Would do a resolution.
resolution as well. So the earliest this could go into effect would be over a month away, April
22nd.
22nd.
You need a motion?
Yes, we do.
I'd love to make.
I make a motion to approve intergovernmental cooperation agreement
He's alive.
as the discussion occurs.
Okay, and that was to have Chris Nasuti serve as both city and township engineer, and Sean to serve as both township and city manager, with both receiving additional compensation of $15,000 annually. Is that correct, Barry?
That is correct. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Corbin?
Beers,
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Abbott.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Joint board member comments. Barry, so I don't forget you, you can go first.
Thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate all the hard work that Chris and Sean have been doing. Sometimes we lose track of that, but they have the right idea, and I like to hear the words cooperation as we move forward in this consolidation process. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Barry. Elliot?
Just thank you, Officer Johnston and Interim Chief and Chief, all the hard work you put in to get a fantastic grant to support all that new equipment for Sandy and DuBois and going forward into the new city. So really appreciate all your efforts. on that. Barry, when are you going to be back from Florida?
Next meeting.
Next meeting?
I will be back from Florida when you promise me there's no ice and snow.
No, I can't do that today, sorry.
July.
No, thanks. Thanks,
I'll see you
everyone.
April 6th. I'll see you at our next meeting. Thanks.
That's it for me.
Dick,
No comment.
anything, Jen?
Yeah, I just want to thank the police. That's great. Thank you from the city also. Chris and Sean, I'm really happy to see what you're doing, and I think this is a great move. I think we're working along fantastic, and it's coming together.
It's a good team. You can tell by the votes that everybody's on board. Going, welcome to the city.
Bill, start at your end, come this way.
Kudos to the police departments. I'm glad to see both you're getting the cams. I know we already have them, but I'm glad the city's going that way too. It's going to save us in the long run.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very
take a lot of BS out of everything. Kudos there. Kudos to Sean and Chris. I know they'll do a phenomenal job. I know how Sean is. For the last 4 years I worked with him. So it's an asset for this community.
Same thing, just a lot of moving pieces, and thank you to our police officers and Sean and Chris for the work that everyone's doing. It's a lot.
Sam?
Yeah, I just want to say that about the building, I can see how Consolidation is already saving money due to the fact that at one time we were going to build a township building, and I think the cost was going to be $6, $7, $8 million. And if we can do upgrade this building for $4 million, that would be a big savings. And also, I'm excited about the, Sean and Chris exchanging, doing the different jobs that they're going to be doing for both the township and the city. So that should be that's a big savings there, because now the city doesn't have to hire another manager. So that's for almost a year. I think that's a year and a half. So there's a huge savings there. And then I want to thank the police for working hard, getting the different grants and doing the different programs that they've been getting done. And that's it.
Anything, Chris?
I just want to thank my coworkers and the coworkers over at Sandy Township for supporting us. I mean, everybody's thanking Sean and I for the hard work, but we have a lot of coworkers that are putting in a lot of hard work with us. And thank you to the joint board for the confidence you have in Sean and I to help the community move forward.
Sean?
Yeah, I'll just kind of echo what Chris said. Really appreciate the joint board, just the cooperation and working together. It's been great to work with everybody here. Thanks to our staff. Already they've started to work together and integrate. You've heard from the police, and we really appreciate that. I see Daleen back in the corner, Daleen working with our secretary treasurer to help bring her up to speed and teach her some things. So it's really working together, and it's going very well. So we really appreciate everybody's cooperation. And this thing tonight was a big night. We have a lot moving forward now. We have an organizational chart. We have a transition plan that will be coming up. We're going to start with a building project. So it's exciting times here, and we're looking forward to moving forward.
And I'm going to echo everybody's thank yous, and most importantly, I'm glad to see that both council and the supervisors seem to be on the same page. I think that's very important. We'll open the meeting to the floor. If anyone from the floor has comments. State your name, sir.
Yeah, Dave Lombardo. First off, I want to say congratulations, Sean and Chris, with your new role and taking that on. It's good to see that we're consolidating a little bit earlier than later, so I kind of like that. I just have kind of a two-thing question or clarification on the facility use. You talked about bringing the police department here. I thought, maybe I'm wrongly under the impression that the police department originally, they were looking at Sandy Township building. that a misconception on me? Did something change in between?
We did, that was part of the evaluation. We evaluated about 4 or 5 different options. We met with the police department, toured both facilities, looked at costs for both upgrades, and determined it was going to be more economical and feasible to operate out of this facility.
So you did an analysis and I went through?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And I wasn't in La
Nope.
La Land?
Nope.
Okay, it was in the back. So the other question then is, what is going to happen to Sandy Township building and what's going to be housed there so we can capitalize and keep our costs down for consolidation?
Sure, so we will reuse the Sandy Township building for some of our longer-term storage, emergency management. Some of the garages will be used for seasonal storage. When we're operating in the summer, we'll have our winter equipment up there and vice versa. So we will be able to utilize both facilities moving forward.
So then all residents in the future, if you have a question, concern, and want to meet with staff, would be coming to the city
They would
building?
be coming to the city building, yes.
So that building would just be for internal use?
Correct.
Okay. And you don't have to spend money to fix it?
We
Well,
do have,
that-
included in that budget is money to fix the roof, do some other weatherproofing and improvements there, but minimal cost up at that building.
Maintenance, basically, not expansion. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tim Winters, Clearfield County Commissioner. First off, I'd like to thank everyone, the joint board, Chris, Sean, I'd like to thank you all for coming together on this. And just leave you know that anything you need, county resources, I'll speak for my fellow commissioners, Mr. Glass and Mr. Sobel. We're all completely behind you on this. If there's a resource at the county level that we can bring to bear for you, feel free to reach out. I know we're gonna have a couple things to touch on with election stuff, but I just wanted to let you know you do have our complete support, and thank you for your hard work in getting this together and moving forward to this point.
Any other comments? Close the meeting to the floor and look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Beers,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker. Abbott. Reesinger. Sullivan.
Yes. We're adjourned 6:30.
All right, thanks, Barry.